Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of Growth Digger, where we talk about everything growth, not just at the top of the funnel, but at every stage of the funnel and how to unlock it and how to use technology to foster growth. And I'm very fortunate to have Barry LaBov with me as my guest today. And Barry is the founder of LaBov Marketing, and he also has recently authored one of the best-selling books on Amazon and Kindle right now. And over to you, Barry, if you would like to add more to your introduction.
Sure, thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today. The book is called The Power of Differentiation. The subtitle is Win Hearts, Minds, and Market Share. And that's what it's all about. It's winning the hearts and minds of your people at an organization, rallying them around what makes you unique, what makes you distinct, something that is special to your company and your company alone, and celebrating that with the most important people in the world, which are the people who work with you, who work for you, who represent you, who service or sell or manufacture your product. So it's a very exciting space to be in, and I'm looking forward to talking to you today about that.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Barry. Barry, typically I start the conversation with an example where, since we're growth diggers, like to talk about growth. If you have an example of work that you did with a client that really fostered amazing growth, unlocked some hidden channels of growth that didn't exist, let's talk about that and then go from there.
One good example is a company called SDI Lafarga. Does not sound like an exciting name. They are in the copper processing world. They create copper rod. Again, doesn't sound very exciting. They came to us and their challenge was, look, they're producing a product that is looked at as a commodity, copper rod, which turns into copper wire. So today we're doing this podcast. My headphones have copper wire in them. Your microphone, my microphone has copper wire. Our laptops have copper wire. So without that, none of this works. So it's an important product, but it's looked at as no big deal, ho-hum, commodity. We researched them, we looked into what they did, and we found that they were doing some very unique things. And one of their differentiators was that they were using recycled copper, which meant they were sustainable, meaning that they were the most environmentally friendly product on the market. When we began with them, they were the low-cost provider. They also were known as the cheap copper guys by most of their clients. That was what they were called. Oh yeah, they're the cheap copper guys. What we did is we unlocked what made them unique, which was in part this sustainability, but also it was their delivery of the product, the experience that they gave their customers. So they were right there working with the customers, holding hands with them, helping them produce this product better in their factories, etc. We also created a new name, a moniker, a nickname for them, which is Copper Works. And their slogan is, this is where copper works. The CEO got so excited, he painted it on their 100,000 square foot building so you could see it from a mile away. Copper Works, this is where copper works. He rallied their employees around it worldwide. And now today, 3-4 years later, they charge a premium. They are the high-priced product in their segment. They make the most profit, and their retention at their company is extraordinary because their people feel they're doing something unique. That's one example of looking at what you do, identifying what makes it distinct, name it, give it a personality, give it an identity, and then celebrate it with your people.
Yeah, and it's akin to building a very, very strong brand that's rooted in certain either values or traditions, or in obviously doing something which is greater than just being a supplier for copper, basically. Yeah, that's wonderful. And then Is that like typical charter for you guys? Is that what you guys do, is go in and talk about how you can help build some differentiation? Or is there more that you guys do?
There's a lot that we do, but it's all at the heart of one word, which is differentiation. Our uniqueness is we focus on one word, differentiation. So our differentiation is differentiation. And we have a process, which is a 5-part, 5-step total process. And the first thing we do is what a lot of agencies do, which is we talk to human beings. We talk to people who buy the product, who build the product, and we say, okay, what's unique about this? And we ask them one very special question when we do that, and that is, what should this company not change? What are they doing that is so special that they should not alter or veer from that? Because that's important. So many of us are willing to change everything because we want to be successful. We do the opposite at my company. We look at what are you doing that you should not change. Once we do that first step, we do a step nobody else does, to my knowledge, and that is we go into the facility. It could be a factory, technology center, service center, and we look. I send in my technical people. We look for uniqueness. We look for distinctiveness. We check all their processes, all their procedures, the products they're producing, the features, whatever it is, we look for things that are unique. It could be a special ingredient. It could be a special process that helps them manufacture something that nobody else has. Once we identify those unique differentiators, we create a roadmap. And that roadmap then leads to the execution of products. So it could be, let's put a new website together. Let's name this product. Let's do a campaign. Let's do digital work, whatever it is. But before we launch it to the world, we celebrate it with all the people involved so that they understand, why are we doing what we're doing? What is it that we're doing that's unique? So that we create this army of advocates, of ambassadors that are ready to take on the world, so that when we do launch it out there, nobody says, I don't know what we do here. The powers that be that just say to me, yeah, go get it done. Just tell me to get done. I don't know why they're doing it. Instead, you have, whether you have 5 people or 50,000 people who represent your company, they're going, look, here's what we do and here's why, and it is amazing. That's what I do.
And I think in smaller companies, you mentioned that 5 to 500 or 5,000, doesn't matter. But I think in smaller companies, obviously the magnitude of what you just described, I think business owners, especially like small business owners, can really follow that process, correct, and see, talk to their customers, what's the one thing that they should not change, or what's the one thing that their customers love about them, and then double down on it. But more importantly, also create like a truly differentiating position for themselves against competitors that they may be incumbent basically with. So I think
you're right. It doesn't matter if you're a large company or small. So everything I share in my book applies to a solopreneur as well as somebody that literally has thousands and thousands of employees. There's no difference. The whole point is we have to avoid commoditization. We have to avoid looking like, acting and being like our competitors, which then leads us down this path of eliminating our uniqueness, dumbing down what we produce so that it's cheaper. And all of a sudden, we're not that special. We're cheap. We can't make enough money to do anything great. We can't afford a lot of people because we're doing it so cheaply. And our own workforce looks at it as, ho-hum, who cares? We used to be great, but we're not great anymore. We're like everybody else. We don't want to do that. Life is too short. Let's be unique. Let's stand up for what makes us who we are, not implying that we're perfect or that we're superior in every way, because no product or brand is. We have to stand for our brand and for what makes us who we are.
I get it. I think a lot of our listeners probably are getting the gist of that as well. That differentiation and that positioning is very important. And how you go by that with the discipline and the rigor, and also sustaining it over time. What are your best practices for sustaining? Okay, yeah, I found my unique position. I'm very excited about it, but it's not like that's just the beginning of the journey. How do you embody that in every aspect of your business? I think is extremely important as well. So what are the steps to doing that?
Those are very difficult steps because it's once you get your body in shape, you're not done. You got to keep working out. You got to keep exercising. You got to watch what you eat. And it's the same thing with your business. Once you identify your uniqueness and you celebrate it and you spread that word, you have to build on it. You can't veer away from it. So you create things known as brand standards. You say, this is a booklet, whether it's virtual or not. This is a booklet that is really encompassing the way we communicate what we do, the words we use, the look, the image we have, and we are not going to change that. This is who we are. So we're not going to play around with those things. Those are sacred. And with that, you start to march down the road with your army that believes in you, and you apply that to everything and every client you approach. And what happens over time, and it doesn't take that long, you start to identify who are the right clients and who are the not so right clients. So part of the value of this is being able to say no. At my company, since we focus on one word, differentiation, if I talk to a prospect and they go, yeah, we're interested in you and we're going to put you out to bid, I go, what are you looking for? Because we focus on differentiation. If they say to me, look, we don't care about that, we just want some execution done, it makes it easy. I go, we're not going to be that good for you. I mean, we could do execution, but you'll find somebody cheaper out there. If you're looking for the unlocking of your magic, then you got to talk to us. But if not, please, if you think you got it figured out, don't waste your time on me. Don't look for some group of people that are going to follow your orders mindlessly, because we're not going to do that. We're going to cause trouble. We're going to say, wait a minute, do you realize you do this differently? Wait a minute, do you realize that you need to name this thing? We're going to cause trouble for you. So as you go down that road, you should become more particular about who your customers are, because you're going to charge a premium. You're not going to be the cheapest. You're going to be doing things that nobody else does. That client's going to go, wait a minute, they're really doing something great. I really need it. I'm happy to pay that because they're more than worth it. But you have to also realize that as you go down that road, you either find more clients that really buy into that and appreciate you, or you avoid those who don't. So you have to follow the path. You don't play around with what makes you sacred, what makes you unique. And then you got to say no a little more often every day, every year, because you have refined who and what you stand for.
And in terms of this, I think what you just described is probably easier said than done, because it's very hard to say no to business. And especially when you have large teams,
Yep.
you have people on the front line, they're dealing with their customers, and a customer wants something, it's very hard to say no.
It is hard to say no, especially, and I'm a good example. When I started my business, every answer was yes. Can we do it? Yes. Would you be able to do it? Yes. Hey, have you ever done? Sure. But really, is our life, is our future based on saying yes to everything? And I hope not, because it's exhausting to say yes to everything that comes in. And remember, as you're saying yes to all these other companies, you're also starting to rob those really special clients that you do have of your best work, because you don't have time for them. So now you got to go work on clients who in many cases are not a good fit. They don't appreciate you. They think you're like everybody else. They're going to beat you up on price. And as you're doing all that, you're ignoring those handful of clients that thought, wow, you guys were, you're not anymore, but were really special.
Great. Now, I think our listeners are going to get a lot of wisdom and understand what is the importance of differentiation in a business and how to apply that. So I would like to thank you, Barry, for your valuable time. Would you like to give us the name of the book that is the bestseller that you have on Amazon right now?
Yes, it's called The Power of Differentiation. The Power of Differentiation. Win hearts, minds, and market share. It's approximately 50 stories of great companies that identified and discovered what made them unique and then rallied their organizations around it. It's very inspiring, and it's actually a step-by-step book in addition, because it helps you understand what you need to do exactly that.
A lot of do-it-yourself type of knowledge transfer there. They can do it, like companies that read through
Yes.
it can do it themselves or at least take a shot at it.
I created it not to sell me, but to open people's eyes to it. And in some cases, I've had people reach out and say, I want to talk to you about that. But I'm sure other people out there going, hey, wait a minute, I could do this myself. And I'm going, go for it. Do it. That's great with me. I don't need the money. I'm not doing it for money.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's always good. You know, what you've learned, I think sharing the knowledge is probably the most rewarding and gratifying thing one can do. And Barry, last thing, of those 50 customers or the 50 stories, how many of them are your customers?
Approximately 2/3 are my customers.
Okay, great.
Not all of them.
And the others are where you've taken inspiration from what work they've done. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
about 2/3 are mine. So I know some very great inside stories about them, and they, of course, approved all of them. But the other third are really great stories about pretty well known, in most cases, companies that did something special.
Great. Folks that are listening in, get ready to double down on differentiation and go download Barry's book. And once again, Barry, thank you for being a great guest. Good luck with the book and the rest of things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. It's been a pleasure.